Hello, my dears. Welcome to Jessica's Intuition. Welcome to the next weekly reading. Before we start here, I definitely need to mention a few things briefly. For those who are not interested, feel free to fast forward. We are looking at the week of the 24th, March, until the 30th of March. March is coming to an end, and the week after that, we are already in April. Before we start, I noticed in the last weekly reading, it definitely resonated better with you that I did all 12 zodiac signs as a general message. That was clear to me. So it has always been like that in the past. In my first year, I did it that way. Then at some point, I stopped doing it altogether. Then I tried it again. So in 2021, 2022, and then finally in 2023, I didn't do it anymore. Oh, and last year, 2024, not at all. I would like to try that. So I definitely want to keep doing it for all 12 zodiac signs. I actually try to film it on Friday or Saturday evening, depending on when I have time, so that you all receive it on Sunday. I can't always promise that it will be ready by 8 o'clock on Sunday, maybe a little later. In any case, I have decided to publish them all on Sunday and not before. I also considered whether to publish them earlier once they are finished, but I think I'll release them all at the same time on Sunday, unless I change my mind during the week. No idea, I'll think it over carefully. As I said, I don't know if everything will work out by 8 o'clock in the morning this time. It's almost Saturday night now. Yeah, I just have to see. Then I definitely wanted to mention here that a few comments last week didn't sit well with me. First of all, this is my channel. If I want to include an introduction here, then I will. That's the first thing. I don't know how long it will be. I say that in advance. You are not forced to listen to it. You can also feel free to fast forward. As I said, if you're only interested in the card reading, you can actually leave my channel. I'm very straightforward about this because I want to have a community here that stands behind me and appreciates what I say. And it's not just all about the card reading. I've said it before, I'm not a card reading machine. That it's solely about the card reading here. This is also about astrology, and I actually mention in every weekly reading what we can expect astrologically in the week. I am genuinely happy, I must honestly say, when people reach out and leave a comment. That's how you can find the fly in the ointment and simply fish it out. So I have deleted a few comments and actually also blocked a few users. As I said, if something doesn't suit me, then I simply do it. And I just wanted to mention that I find it very disrespectful to even bring it up. And as I said, I don't want to give it any platform here, nor do I want to bother with it anymore. I just wanted to mention it here once. Anyone who stands out to me will be blocked immediately. Alright, that's just a preliminary note. The 72-hour outlook was also very well received by you. It will be available again on Thursday for all 12 zodiac signs. What I noticed there are the timestamps. I mentioned at the beginning of the video that I won't be including timestamps. Quote, that I won't write down when each sign comes up. If any of you would like to do that, you are welcome to, and I would be very grateful. I also take note of such things, and maybe I'll pick you out someday and you'll receive a little goodie from me. Always remember, it's a give and take. I lay out the cards for you here. I don't have time for everything, and unfortunately, I don't have time to do that for all 4 channels as well. That's why I didn't do it. And as I said, you are welcome to write in the comments when your reading begins. I'm not upset about that. I'm very grateful. There's good karma for you. And as I said, you will stand out to me because of that. Comments like, the timestamps are missing or whatever, stand out negatively. I just wanted to mention that so you are informed. I see everything. I also see things that are not visible. So in that sense, I see everything. Yes, that's just a preliminary note. I hope I haven't forgotten anything now. Exactly. I had told you that I have a course over the weekend, which actually runs from 9 to 6, from Friday to Sunday. Sunday, these readings will be released on Sunday. At some point during the day, the remaining spring readings will be released. Also on all channels. And I will actually also try to publish the weekly reading on all channels from now on. So that is actually my current project that I want to start. As mentioned, the remaining spring readings will come out sometime on Sunday during the day. And then starting Monday, the April readings will follow. First, the monthly reading, then the me and my counterpart reading. I know I still have a few love readings open about what is coming up for you in love. I think I will also do those this week, but I also have a few appointments this week. I'm not sure how I will manage all of it. Then we also have the new moon this week, for which an oracle will be released. Then we have Neptune, which is growing in the sign. And I actually would like to make a video about that as well. That's why I just have to see. Maybe I'll do it like this. I'll first do the April readings because they are a priority. Then I'll do the remaining love readings. I think there are still 7 left of the what is coming up for you in love readings, the timeless ones. And after that, I will do the me and my counterpart reading. They will probably spill over into April, but everything is somewhat timeless anyway. A reading comes out every month for this series. So if it goes a few days into April, I think it's not that bad. So I think I'm done with the complaining. Yes, as I said, for me that's just not acceptable. I just wanted to mention that, and with that, the matter is settled for me because I don't celebrate or like that at all. All right, as I said, we are looking at the week of the 24th until the 30th of March. The weekly readings won't be too long. Of course, the intro I speak is included in every zodiac sign. That always lasts longer than the actual reading. As I said, it's all a message, and it's all important for the next week, not just the card reading. And ultimately, these are weekly readings. Almost every day a video is released on my channel. That's why I can't make every video 30 minutes long. That just doesn't work. As I said, if someone doesn't like it, they are welcome to take the door and just leave. So what's coming up this week? We have right on Monday the 30th, on the 24th. In March, we have the Sun conjunct Mercury. Mercury is currently at 4 degrees Aries. It is retrograde, which means it will go back into Pisces. I had told you about that. It was at 9 degrees Aries and is now at 4 degrees Aries. And indeed, on Monday, it might happen that we feel major turning points or that a major turning point occurs. It could also be that something from the past comes up again. Something that we want to bring forward. Especially since Mercury represents our mind, also communication. The sun always illuminates that. They are practically right next to each other. So they are directly, let's say in the radix, they are right next to each other, the conjunction. And that can actually also mean, yes, where should it go for you now? In which direction should it go now? In general, what, how, what, where? So it can actually mean where to with you. Where to with you? How should it move forward now? That is indeed the case. With Mercury conjunction, so Sun conjunction Mercury, that can actually be directly on Monday that you also feel it, right? The energies, or rather, yes, the energies, they know no time. They are there. They are already there now. One person feels it earlier, another feels it later. Then, on the 27th of March, we have Venus, which is retrograde, conjunction Neptune. So I would actually take this week, yes, time for oneself. So I would take time, so that you take time for yourself, that you also withdraw a bit, that you think a lot this week about how things can generally move forward for you, right? Because we also have the new moon. I believe it will be a very, very spiritual week as well. The week will not be easy. I'm telling you now. Yes, as I said, on the 27th of March, we have Venus retrograde, conjunction Neptune. Neptune is currently at 29 degrees Pisces. As I said, it is also changing its sign. It can actually be that we are more emotional, that we are more sensitive, more compassionate. It can also be that we want to heal or want to heal ourselves. That things simply come up, that we are allowed to process things we might have pushed aside, right? Forgiveness issues, also something like forgiving oneself. This is definitely a time for spirituality, to go within, to be with oneself, to, as mentioned, also take time for oneself. As I have already said, it can also mean that major cleansing processes, as mentioned, the theme of healing, the theme of, yes, cleansing as well. I am definitely with the star energy on this, I just have to say. On the 27th of March, we also have Lilith changing her sign. She changes it every 9 years, and she is also moving into Scorpio. I am also very curious about how this energy will affect us. However, it goes until the 20th, December into Scorpio. After that, it becomes retrograde and then comes back again. That's just a preliminary note. And then we actually have on the 29th, March, which is Saturday the 29th, Mar. We have a solar eclipse, which means the solar eclipse at 8 or 9 degrees, Aries. Yes, the new moon in Aries is coming up. Restart, exactly. Restart. Energy is a fire energy. This is a very, very active energy. Strong willpower, a new chapter may open. We already had the new astrological year starting on Thursday. That was also, I must honestly say, I actually started something new on that day. So at the moment, everything is going very well for me. I can't say it any other way. So the year is really off to a good start for me. I hope it's the same for you, that you are making good progress in your endeavors. As I said, no, there was also a topic for me that I kept putting off. I've been putting it off since last year, and I realized that I have to tackle it sometime this year. I kept postponing it. And now, with the eclipse season, by the way, this is the last eclipse at the beginning of the year, the second of 4. And with that, the eclipse season is also over for now. It will return at the end of the year in September or October. And it is indeed the case that during the eclipse season, or rather during the retrogrades, as I mentioned in the astrological forecast, things will resurface in March that we have postponed, simply things we haven't addressed. And that has indeed happened to me. And I can't tell you otherwise. Address the things you are putting off. One day you will be confronted with it again, sooner or later. And for me, a few things were indeed already too late. I know, but I knew that myself. But my hands were simply tied. I didn't have a solution for it, and I knew the solution would come eventually when the time was right. I was then forced to do something else first instead of what I actually wanted. And ultimately, it resolved itself on Thursday, or rather, finally on Friday for me. I am very thankful and very happy that I no longer have a problem in that regard. Yes, as I said, some might want to reflect back on last year. September, October, that was the eclipse season. And what was pending then, whether you have completed it or not. As mentioned, we have the new moon in Aries. This is a very, very strong energy. This is again an energy for the next 6 months, where I would say, look at what you intended back then, whether it has now been fulfilled or realized. What still needs to be looked at? What still needs to be addressed? What can finally be completed? What can be started anew? Open a new chapter, That's really the theme, I would say. As mentioned, there will be another video about this. I will probably manage to film the video on Thursday or maybe already on Wednesday, and then it will be published for you on Thursday. That's how I feel about it. Yes. For the new moon in Aries. I'm very curious about that. Yes, that's it for now. And then, my dear ones, what can I say? On March 30th, we have Neptune in Aries. I think this week Mercury will also... Won't it go back over Aries again? I have a feeling, won't it go back over Aries again this week? Wait a moment, I need to quickly check my astrology tool. So I think it will happen again on the 29th, right? I believe on the 29th, Mercury will also go back into Pisces again. But I'm not 100% sure about that. It's currently on Monday, it's at 4 degrees. I think it will happen again. I think it was on the 29th. On the 29th, Mercury will go back into Pisces again. Yes, the 29th. That was it. I didn't write it down. Thought I would remember it. Well, let's finally get to the last part. The 30th? Yes, the 30th month of March. Neptune in the sign of Aries. That actually only happens every 164 years. 164 years ago, none of us were around. So we don't know how that will be. And especially the constellation that is present now, it wasn't there before. And Neptune in Aries actually stays until the 22nd. 25 in Aries. Then it will go retrograde again and return to Pisces. And then in January, I believe it was the 25th or the 26th, Jan. Neptune goes back into the sign of Aries. So this Aries 0 point is very, very important. I watched a video by Silke Schaefer 2 days ago or so. So when she published it, the last video from me, super informative. There were just such awesome messages in it. I can only recommend it to you. Watch the video. She is a professional astrologer. And yes, she mentioned and talked about some things that are just, wow, what awaits us. A new cycle is opening. As I said, we have not seen or experienced this transit in our lifetimes. It can actually mean that major new beginnings are ahead, which we are now entering. In general, new energy, new world. Everything will be a bit different. Everything will change also on a global scale. We feel, I think, the urge, especially with Aries and Neptune, the urge to start anew, to begin again, perhaps also to realize our dreams. Big new dreams, a bigger or newer life. And I also like to say lately, hold on to your vision. And most of you here have probably noticed that something has come to fruition for me in the last few weeks, for which I am very grateful that it turned out the way it did, ultimately also with my other channels. That was a very, 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 very deep-seated wish of mine to eventually start the English one. Now, in the meantime, I am also available in Spanish or Turkish. And yes, I am curious to see what else will come. So at the moment, I'm really very, very happy. Of course, there are a few things that still need to be addressed, which one likes to look at. I just took the deck of cards and there was the Ace of Cups under the deck, which also tells me that there are very, very big new beginnings this week. Very important new beginnings as well. I also believe that for many, a new beginning is coming this week. Okay, my dears, I'll leave it here with this intro for now. A good 18 minutes have passed. As I said, I'm not rushing myself anymore. I'm also taking the time to tell you about it. A little reminder. I have decided that you will get the 2026 annual reading with a 25% early bird discount. I am extending it for another week. For those who still want to participate, let's say until the 31st of March, because the 30th of March we're going until the 31st of March in 2025, you can purchase, the 2026 annual reading with the early bird discount for 25% less. Book the 2025 annual reading anyway. I will remove it sometime next month or the month after, and then I will already put in 2027. But for now, it remains available. And yes, this reading will be released on Sunday. Anyone who still wants the spring reading at a discount can do so until Sunday, the 23rd March. Save 20% on the spring reading without any additional code. When you add it to the cart, it will be automatically deducted. Exactly, that's just for you, my dear ones. I would say let's start with the zodiac signs and see you soon in the videos. Hello, dear Pisces. Welcome to your weekly reading. Always look not only at your zodiac sign, that is your sun sign, but also your moon sign and your ascendant sign. Or also take a look at where your personal planets are. You will always find a link in the info box below where you can have your birth chart calculated. Exactly, and then you can also see where your placements are. And I would always watch the corresponding videos as well. Always remember that the roles in a reading can be reversed. Time is always relative, time flows. And these are always collective readings, general readings. Of course, it may also be that not everything will align with you in this reading here. Yes, and all important information, all important links, and also the cards I use can always be found below in the info box. And everything I currently offer can be found on my website. Let's see what wants to come to you this week. I have already sorted out the moon cards. We have the new moon, a new beginning is approaching, also the new moon in Aries, time to take action, and the solar eclipse, a massive change. Let's take a look. Yes, Six of Swords. You will leave a situation, this is the end. Let go. With the Six of Swords, we have the departure to new shores, into calmer waters. One wants to move on, one wants to leave the past behind. Let go. One wants to start anew. So with the Six of Swords, you will definitely leave something behind. The past, things that probably gave you headaches, things that didn't make you happy, that caused you grief and worries, have caused you. And with death, we also have the theme of letting go, the great change that is now coming. You are ready to start anew. This week will mark a new beginning for you. This week, something new will begin for you. You don't know where yet. This can actually be a memory or a vision from the past. Yes, we also have the theme of vision here. Look, we also have wish fulfillment. Something from the past is resurfacing. I would say pay close attention to your dreams. Very, very important. We now have Neptune moving from Pisces to Aries, which tells me once again, this can actually be a breakthrough theme for you. That you can turn your plans into reality. This will change something for many. Now, when it's in the new again, the new moon in Aries, but also Neptune in Aries. And I have the definite feeling that something from the past is absolutely coming up here. A new vision that you might now, yes, wherever you are going now, or something you want to implement or realize now. Neptune of Wands in the world. Everything that has drained your strength, everything that has, how do you say, weakened you? What has drained your strength? Nine of Wands. This is, so to speak, the card of powerlessness from the long struggle. That one keeps trying to stand up and fight. This will now also be concluded with the world. That is the conclusion. That is a chapter. We'll now conclude the whole thing with 10, meaning the old burdens. The old things can also be concluded here, and with the world we have the end. Here a chapter comes to an end, and at the same time, something new begins for you. Everything that has caused you grief, has caused you worries, has drained your strength, has drained your energy, can now finally also be concluded. And here we have the theme of letting go again. Again, the theme of letting go. Four of Pentacles, the Devil, Judgment, the Ten of Swords. Yes, and here we already have the Eight of Wands and also the Six of Wands. That is the victory. The things that can now be let go. That no longer do you any good. The Ten of Cups. Eight of Cups under the deck, the departure with a heavy heart. You will definitely leave something behind here. And with the Ten of Cups, I also have the theme here. The fulfillment. You are allowed to go into your happiness. You are allowed to go into your fulfillment. You are allowed to celebrate life, enjoy it, have fun. For some, this can also mean entering a new connection. Whether it's in love or in any other area of life. It doesn't have to be in love. I lay this out very generally always, and then I do specific love readings. But it can be in love. Most people simply look for love. I still always keep it very general. And I also have the feeling that something that no longer fulfills you is now being concluded here. And you will move into what fulfills you. Into your fulfillment. Okay, I'll now take a look at the moon message for you. We'll draw another moon message for you. I don't like the card. Adaptation is required. We have that for you once. Under the deck, we have consider the big picture. Yes, that's just how it is. You have to adapt somewhere. And I have the feeling that you no longer want to adapt here. That you want to get out of there. I'm drawing a clarification card on that now. I don't like the card. Adjusted stop or adaptation is required. Yes, that's over. That's what I said. You will get out of there. So you won't let yourself be here anymore either. Or you will no longer adapt here. You are ready to get out of there. With the Ten of Swords, you are now leaving the old behind. Your old self, the one that always adapted. Adapted is required. So either you adapt here, and that will continue to drain your energy. It won't fulfill you, or you finally close it off. Also with the Ten of Swords, you close it off and then move into your fulfillment. That will also happen quite quickly. I have that feeling. Okay, I'll leave it at that for now. Let's see what happens next. I will now lay out another row of cards for you in the continuation. Then we'll see what will come your way. I will draw a power animal for you. Which power animal will accompany you this week? Then we'll also draw a soul message for you, an angel message. This can be advice for you or an answer to your question. And finally, we'll also draw a love message for you. You now have the choice to watch the continuation through two different links. The first link is always the one that leads you to my website. There, you can always watch the continuation individually. It is also very important that you receive 2 emails. The first email is the confirmation email where you have your invoice. Then you will receive a second email where you have a button that directs you to the continuation. Feel free to check the spam folder as well. the email can indeed end up in the spam folder. Then you also have the option here, at least on the German channel, to watch the continuation through the channel membership here on YouTube. That is the second link, which leads you to the channel membership video. However, you can only watch the video if you are a channel member. There you will find a third link. That will take you to the area of my channel membership. There you can sign up for a channel membership. This is available from the second level, starting with the Soul Community Bronze. Do you have full access to all continuations of the weekly readings? And you can always find these links below in the info box and in the top comment. I look forward to welcoming you there soon, and to everyone else, I wish you already a wonderful week. Here. All the best, and until the next reading. Bye bye.